that a single 1977 D. Washington quarter could be hiding a story far more valuable than its face value. Most people toss these coins into jars, vending machines, or cash registers without giving them a second thought. Yet certain 1977 D-quarter dollars have captured the attention of collectors because of their outstanding condition, rare minting errors, and exceptional eye appeal. While you'll often hear claims online that these coins are worth millions or could make someone a billionaire overnight, the reality is different. Truly extraordinary examples can still sell for impressive amounts, especially when they combine rare errors with top-grade preservation, making them highly desirable in the numismatic world. That means the quarter in your pocket deserves a closer look before you spend it. Tiny details that most people overlook can make an enormous difference, and knowing what to search for could completely change the way you look at everyday change forever. The 1977 D. Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint and carries the familiar D mint mark on the obverse. These quarters are composed of a copper core covered with a copper-nickel-clad layer, following the composition adopted after silver was removed from circulating quarters in 1965. Hundreds of millions were produced, making ordinary circulated examples very common and usually worth only face value. However, rarity in coin collecting is not always about low mintage. Sometimes it is about surviving in flawless condition or possessing an unusual mint error that escaped quality control. Professional grading services carefully examine every detail, from the sharpness of the design to the brilliance of the luster, and the highest graded coins become the most sought-after examples. A seemingly ordinary quarter can become an extraordinary collectible simply because it survived decades without significant wear. One of the biggest reasons collectors chase certain 1977 D quarters is the possibility of mint errors. During the striking process, mistakes occasionally occurred, creating coins unlike the millions of normal pieces. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, retained cuds, and dramatic die breaks are all examples of errors that can attract significant collector interest. A doubled die, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled because of the way the die was made, is another feature that collectors carefully inspect. These mistakes are accidental, making each genuine error unique. The stronger and more dramatic the error, the more desirable the coin often becomes. Authentication is essential because damaged coins can sometimes resemble mint errors, and only a professional evaluation can confirm whether the unusual appearance was created at the mint or happened later in circulation. Condition is often even more important than rarity. Two identical 1977 D quarters can have dramatically different values depending on preservation. Coins showing scratches, heavy wear, stains, or dull surfaces generally remain inexpensive. On the other hand, a coin with blazing mint luster, razor-sharp details, and virtually no contact marks may achieve a premium grade. Collectors especially compete for examples graded in the highest mint state levels, because only a tiny number survive in such exceptional condition. These coins often spent little or no time in circulation and were carefully preserved from the day they were struck. Eye appeal also matters greatly. Attractive tunning, brilliant surfaces, and a strong strike can increase collector demand, making one example stand out from countless others. If you believe you have a special 1977 D quarter, begin by examining it under bright light with a magnifying glass or coin loupe. Look closely at the mint mark, the lettering, the date, and the edges for anything unusual. Search for doubling, missing design elements, off-center alignment, or signs of striking errors. Avoid cleaning the coin, even if it appears dirty, because cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce its collector value. Many valuable coins have lost significant premiums simply because someone polished them in an attempt to make them shine. Instead, store the coin safely in a protective holder and consider submitting it to a respected grading service if it appears exceptional or displays a genuine mint error. The market for collectible quarters continues to evolve as more people discover the excitement of coin collecting. Auction records occasionally reveal surprisingly high prices for extraordinary examples of otherwise common coins, especially when they are certified in elite grades or feature spectacular mint errors. These headline sales often inspire collectors to search through pocket change, inherited collections, and old coin albums in hopes of making an exciting discovery. While not every 1977 D quarter will be valuable, the possibility of finding an outstanding example keeps the hobby exciting. Knowledge, patience, and careful observation remain the most valuable tools for anyone searching for hidden treasures among everyday coins. Many stories circulate online claiming that every old quarter is worth millions of dollars, but experienced collectors know that true value depends on authenticity, rarity, condition, and market demand. A common circulated 1977 D quarter is usually worth only 25 cents, while a certified, exceptionally preserved example or a genuine major mint error can be worth substantially more. Understanding this difference helps collectors avoid unrealistic expectations while still appreciating the thrill of the hunt. Every coin has a story, and sometimes the smallest details separate an ordinary pocket coin from a remarkable collectible that becomes the centerpiece of a collection. Before you spend another quarter, take a moment to inspect it carefully because history can sometimes hide in plain sight. Your next handful of change could contain a beautifully preserved 1977 D Washington quarter or an unusual mint error that catches the attention of serious collectors. The excitement of coin collecting lies not only in discovering value, but also in learning the fascinating history behind every coin that passes through your hands. Continue searching old coin jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers because remarkable finds still happen. The next great discovery may not be worth millions, but it could still be an unforgettable treasure waiting for someone observant enough to recognize it. That a single 1979 D Washington quarter sitting unnoticed in a pocket, coin jar, or old collection could be worth far more than its face value. Most people spend these coins every day without giving them a second glance, but a few extraordinary examples have become legendary among collectors. While the vast majority of 1979 D quarters are only worth 25 cents, certain rare pieces with exceptional condition, striking errors, or unique characteristics have sold for hundreds, thousands, and in extraordinary cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. That is exactly why collectors carefully inspect every 1979 D quarter they find. One tiny detail can completely change a coin's value. Before you spend another quarter, take a closer look because the coin hiding in your pocket today could become tomorrow's prized collectible. The 1979 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint and carries the small D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse. Hundreds of millions were produced, making it a common circulation coin. However, rarity in coin collecting is not always about low mintage. Instead, condition often determines value. Coins that survived for decades without entering circulation are extremely difficult to find. A flawless mint state example with original mint luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear can command surprisingly high prices at auction. Collectors compete fiercely for top-graded examples because only a tiny percentage of surviving coins remain in near-perfect condition after more than 4 decades. This is why professional grading plays such an important role in determining the true value of a 1979 D quarter. One of the biggest reasons certain 1979 D quarters become incredibly valuable is the presence of mint errors. During production, even a small mistake at the mint could create a one-of-a-kind collectible. Collectors search for doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, die breaks, and dramatic misalignments. Some coins display missing design elements, while others show multiple striking errors that make them exceptionally desirable. These mistakes transform an ordinary circulating coin into a fascinating piece of minting history. The more dramatic and visually appealing the error, the greater the collector demand can become. Because genuine mint errors are uncommon, authenticated examples often attract strong bidding whenever they appear in the marketplace. Another feature that dramatically increases the value of a 1979 D quarter is its overall preservation. Coins are professionally graded on a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with MS-70 representing absolute perfection. Even the difference between MS-66 and MS-67 can mean thousands of dollars in value. High-grade coins display brilliant original surfaces, razor-sharp details, and virtually no distracting marks. Since most 1979 D quarters entered circulation immediately after being struck, locating one that still appears almost exactly as it did on the day it left the Denver Mint is remarkably difficult. This scarcity of superb quality examples explains why advanced collectors willingly pay premium prices whenever one becomes available. Many exciting stories have emerged from collectors who discovered valuable quarters in unexpected places. Some searched through inherited collections, while others examined old bank rolls that had remained unopened for decades. A few lucky individuals even found outstanding examples in ordinary pocket change. These discoveries remind us that valuable coins are not always locked away in museums or expensive collections. Sometimes they are quietly waiting in forgotten jars, desk drawers, family albums, or old piggy banks. Although finding an exceptionally valuable 1979 D quarter requires patience and a little luck, every search offers the thrill of uncovering a hidden treasure that countless others may have overlooked. If you believe you have found a special 1979 D quarter, resist the temptation to clean or polish it. Cleaning almost always damages a coin's original surface and can significantly reduce its collector value. Instead, carefully hold the coin by its edges and examine it under good lighting with a magnifying glass. Look for sharp details, unusual strike characteristics, missing design elements, or obvious mint errors. If the coin appears exceptional, consider having it authenticated and graded by a respected professional grading service. Authentication provides confidence to buyers and helps establish the coin's true market value, especially if it possesses rare features or an unusually high grade. The market for collectible Washington quarters continues to grow as more people discover the fascinating world of coin collecting. Auction records regularly demonstrate that collectors are willing to pay remarkable prices for the finest known examples of common-date coins when quality and rarity come together. While sensational online claims that every 1979 D quarter is worth millions are not accurate, exceptional specimens with rare mint errors or top professional grades can certainly be worth far more than face value. Understanding the difference between ordinary circulated coins and genuinely scarce collectible examples is the key to making informed decisions and avoiding unrealistic expectations. Knowledge is often just as valuable as the coin itself. The next time a 1979 D Washington quarter passes through your hands, don't dismiss it as just another 25-cent coin. Take a moment to inspect the date, the Denver Mint mark, the overall condition, and any unusual features that might separate it from millions of ordinary examples. Every legendary coin discovery began with someone who simply decided to look more closely. Whether your quarter becomes a treasured collectible or simply teaches you more about the fascinating history of American coinage, the search itself is always rewarding. Hidden treasures still exist, and sometimes they are found in the most ordinary places. Keep searching, keep learning, and remember that the next looked at a 1984 D Washington quarter and thought it was just another ordinary 25-cent coin. What if that small piece of metal hiding in your pocket, coin jar, or old collection could actually be worth thousands? or in extremely rare cases, even far more than its face value. Today we're uncovering the fascinating story of the 1984 D Washington quarter, one of the most talked about modern U.S. coins among collectors. Millions of these quarters were struck at the Denver Mint, but a tiny number stand out because of exceptional preservation, dramatic mint errors, and unique characteristics that make them highly desirable. While the vast majority of 1984 D quarters are only worth face value, the rarest examples have surprised collectors by selling for astonishing prices at major auctions. Before you spend another old quarter, take a closer look, because the difference between an ordinary coin and an extraordinary one can come down to a tiny detail that many people miss. The 1984 D Washington quarter was produced at the Denver Mint and features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse with the majestic eagle on the reverse. This coin is made of a copper core covered with a copper-nickel-clad layer, giving it the familiar silver-colored appearance seen in everyday circulation. Hundreds of millions were minted, making it a common circulation coin, but quantity alone does not determine value. Collectors are always searching for coins with exceptional eye appeal, razor-sharp details, brilliant mint luster, and perfect surfaces untouched by circulation. These premium quality coins are incredibly difficult to find because most entered commerce immediately after leaving the mint. Over decades of use, scratches, wear, and contact marks reduce the condition of countless examples, leaving only a tiny number capable of achieving the highest professional grades. One of the biggest reasons the 1984 D quarter attracts serious collectors is the possibility of mint errors. During the minting process, even the smallest mistake can transform an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary collectible. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, double strikes, die cracks, die chips, and dramatic double die varieties all receive strong attention from specialists. Some coins also display striking abnormalities caused by worn or damaged dies, while others may have missing clad layers that expose the copper core beneath. These unusual mistakes are far scarcer than regular circulation coins, and collectors are often willing to pay substantial premiums for authentic examples. The more dramatic and visually obvious the error, the greater the interest it usually receives in today's collector market. Condition plays an even greater role than rarity for many modern quarters. A circulated 1984 D quarter usually carries little premium, but a coin preserved in spectacular mint state condition can become highly valuable. Professional grading services examine every detail under magnification, evaluating luster, strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal before assigning a numerical grade. Coins graded in the highest mint state levels are extremely scarce because nearly every tiny mark reduces the grade. Even though millions of these quarters were struck, finding one that has survived for decades with nearly flawless surfaces is remarkably difficult. That scarcity in top condition explains why elite collectors compete aggressively whenever an exceptional example appears at auction. Auction history has shown that top-grade 1984 D Washington quarters can bring surprisingly strong prices. Certified examples with outstanding preservation have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on grade, eye appeal, and collector demand. Coins featuring spectacular mint errors or unusual striking characteristics may command even higher prices because they appeal to both Washington quarter specialists and error coin collectors. Stories about modern quarters selling for extraordinary amounts often inspire people to search through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten bank rolls. While sensational claims of ordinary 1984 D quarters being worth millions are not supported by documented sales, genuinely rare error coins and elite condition examples can still represent exciting and valuable discoveries. If you believe you have a special 1984 D quarter, examine it carefully before making any decisions. Start by locating the small D mint mark on the obverse beside Washington's ponytail, confirming it was struck in Denver. Inspect both sides under good lighting with a magnifying glass, looking for doubling in the lettering, unusual die breaks, off-center designs, missing clad layers, or other striking abnormalities. Avoid cleaning the coin under any circumstances, because even gentle cleaning can permanently damage the surface and dramatically reduce its collector value. If the coin appears exceptionally well preserved or displays a significant